handicap accessible?
Yes, ma'am. If they're currently, now we don't, you know, I believe the bathrooms are built to ADA anyway. But we don't put in, they don't do ramps or any of that sort of thing unless the person is currently has the registered sticker and all that.
2 questions. 1, how soon can we get this started? And 2, can we start this already involved with another open grant right now?
Yes, sir. The answer to the second question is yes. The answer to the first question is, right now we are going through deobligated, we're making application for deobligated money. And deobligated money is, say a town said they were going to build, they got a grant to build 6, they only built 4. That money goes back into a pool. So right now there's not really an applicant, we're in an open application period. You can apply anytime. When they run out of deobligated money, then we're going to go back into the regular funding cycle, which won't start until October.
Okay, so how soon can we have you out here to, not you per se,
You
someone
will-
take in application?
Well, no, the next step is that you guys have to pass a resolution saying you're going to make application to the program. Okay? And did you,
That'd be on next
the
month's
resolution, was it in this agenda or not?
We didn't know to do it.
Or not?
No, I'm sorry. It's not.
You do have the resolution, correct?
Did you give that to the fire chief, or?
I emailed it to Chris, right?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, then I'm sure.
Well, if not, I can get you another one before next month.
Okay.
You all meet once a
You want
month?
to send the secretary one of them, so she'll have that?
Okay.
And then we'll know how to word that on the agenda or something?
Well, we have the resolution, and we'll send you a sample, we'll send you an agenda item.
You had that.
Now, once we approve that, and how long does it take the wheels to get into motion for the first approval, for the
Well,
first?
the night that I was supposed to be here was Wolf City. Their application is being hand-carried to TDHCA Thursday.
And
So
then-
that's been about 5 weeks.
Okay, and then after that, what's the time period for the first nail?
We're not really in charge of that. After that, it's not in our hands.
But I mean, normal. One of the money's appropriated, I should say.
The money would be appropriated after the scoring and all that sort of thing, because they don't know.
It's not like this building 2 or 3 years. It's like.
This is inside 2 years. This is inside 2 years. Home is inside 2. You'll be done. It's usually around 18 months total, start to finish. And about 6 or 7 months of that is just like government's
Yeah, government.
digging a hole and waiting.
Yeah, exactly. We know all about that.
You finished?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're gonna build someone a house and they're on well water or they have an older septic system, does it have to pass some type of government regulation or standard before y'all can connect to those, or do they have to pass a certain anything?
We're not involved in that process. Okay, that's the city's responsibility.
Well, no, we're not.
We
You don't care if they're dumping stuff in a 55-gallon drum out the backyard.
But Lee, it has to be within the city, and we have that regulated.
I
As far
understand.
as.
Do y'all have mandatory sewer connection now?
No.
No.
Okay. All right, but you do have mandatory water service?
Yes.
No.
Well, we do, because the TCQ, this is their zone, yeah. So
Okay.
we have that.
Okay. So what,
It's not through the city, it's
does
through,
not
Right.
have it. The city.
the city does not have it, but it's
Right.
regulated through Monterey.
Okay. So you buy, do you use a water supplier?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. And they're regulated through the
To
TCQ.
TCQ like everybody else.
Yeah.
So
I just didn't know if, like I said, if they have one out, you know, like I said, a well or whatever, it has to be a certain standard requirement since it's it's tying into a government-related project. I guess.
No, I can tell you that the few instances that I've run into that were a little strange is that we fall back on whoever your provider is or the city itself. Usually the city
Or the
itself.
individual. Or the individual.
We will not deal with sewer and water hookups with the individual homeowner at all. It's whoever provides that service in your city is who our builder will deal with.
We don't have central wastewater treatment.
Okay, I understand. So everybody's on a septic or aerobic or
Yes,
whatever.
Right,
Right,
but that's copacetic with y'all's program.
absolutely.
What about, one quick question, being on the lake with Nature's River, my understanding, you build a new house, you have to put in an aerobic system. instead of having the standard septic.
Well,
That's not true.
That's not true? Okay, good.
we deal with Sabine River Authority where I live, and we've done 2 home projects in West Waukene, and we did have a couple of people that still had a septic, and Sabine River didn't like that at all. I can tell you that. They didn't like it at all. But their whole goal is to get rid of septics.
I know
Yes, sir.
when I replaced mine to get a permit, I had to go to the aerobic. That's what they forced us to do.
I think that's about size of land and things like that. It is in SRA.
It has to do with the number of feet in the house and the actual footage of property you have. Like, I'm able, if I stay under, and I'm talking about the 1989 is when that law come in, and if you stay under a minimum footage of your house plans, and you have X number of footage on a lot, you're allowed to have a Class 2 septic.
Okay.
But you probably did it because you probably had a bigger house, and your footage that you had to dispense the runoff.
It's probably not quite enough, okay.
Yeah, because you have too big of a house.
Thank you for enlightening us on the septic system. Does anybody else got any questions? Anybody else got any questions for me?
Is there any other questions?
I will make an appointment with
Thank you
the
for
lovely
coming out
lady and
and
Appreciate
getting us involved in it. And we look forward to doing business with you real as soon as possible. Because there are a lot of citizens around here that are going to need these houses, and it'll be in our best interest to carry this as quickly as we can.
Like it.
You don't get something like this every day.
It's nice, man. It's good.
Yeah, and we appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you can't beat that, because I know when I do my I ain't gonna say drive-arounds on Sunday. When I do my drive-arounds on Sunday, I hear
Watch it there.
a lot of folks complaining about, Mayor, I live on X amount of dollars income, and, I have to decide whether to buy food or buy my medication, and I'm not gonna go into the whole thing, but, so if we can do this to some of the citizens, regardless who's sitting here, I think y'all better do it. That's a win-win situation, and I used to say, it's a no-brainer. Thank you again, Mr. Richards.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, ordinance clarification. John Graham, consider an act upon ordinance. You can forget that part.
What we're gonna do, if you don't mind me taking the
Sure.
table here. We've entertained some questions and discussions with, among several of us here on this panel, or on this council. And I've talked with Steve and some of the others, and we decided we'd rather defer this to a single meeting, single item situation, so we can expedite through this without a lot of conflict with other things that we're going over here tonight.
Good.
We'll be here till midnight probably if we decide to do this as well. So
Yeah.
with that said, I discussed it with Mike and Lee here, and we had a little conflict on maybe trying to do it Thursday or Friday. So I'd like to propose we do it sometime next week.
Would it be too late to do it Thursday? I'm good
Well, we
Thursday.
have to post the meeting prior
But
to.
that would be untimely, wouldn't it?
Yes.
It's already written up over there. All I gotta do is sign it. If y'all wanna do it Thursday, I'm that much in front of you.
It
We
would
just have to
be-
do it Thursday at 6, whatever.
Do we have the timetable to meet the requirement for posting?
I've got it
Y'all
written up
talking
already.
Thursday this week?
Yes.
In other words, if he signs it, we're good for 6:30 or whatever.
Now, here's the only conflict that I see. Your homeowner association meeting is
Oh,
also on
that's right.
Thursday, right?
No.
Oh, it
That's-
is?
Yeah, I want Steve to
No, he
give
needs
us
to,
clarification.
he needs to be here.
Okay, yeah.
So you need to pick another day. But I'm ready for
But it's
you.
him and some other members too, right?
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Lee, when are you good? I know your job.
Well, first of all, hold on, stop. First of all, Steve, I'd like to thank you and your committee. Y'all obviously did a whole lot of work, and I don't want to go by and think that we didn't appreciate all
Will
the
the
stuff.
committee members stand up? I really don't know all the committee members.
Would the committee members please stand up? Get up, neighbor.
We have Phil Rutledge, Bruce Harbert, who's not here today, Ron Jeffries, Donna Bradley, who is not here, and Lee Assey.
I think we ought to give them a round of applause.
Representative of pretty much what the city is made of.
A very
People
diverse
that
group.
Live in different areas and things like
Right.
that. So we did work on this. We had the newspaper with us, And the packet that we have here, that we presented to you, was agreed on 100% by the committee. So, just so that you know that. We weren't, it took us a little bit of time, but we did work through our questions and our issues. And I believe that this is a package that would serve the community well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Now, I know I put you in charge of this. However, I'm going to give a little input. What is wrong with Friday?
Mike was voicing some ideas.
Why do you want to do that on Friday?
Because you can't do it on Thursday then.
You got a date?
Why can't we do it
You want
Monday
to
next week?
Something out. I'm just saying.
Steve, how about you and your committee members? Are y'all open for next week?
They're not all here. We really,
We'd like to have as many of them as possible in case they had one subject they felt.
it really won't make any difference now because we put together
What
this
you
package,
have
so the committee
solid.
members have already, we've already vetted this and agreed to it. So now it's in your court. I don't really even have to be there.
Let's say Monday or
Right, but-
Tuesday.
Because
I
this-
want you there, and I want the rest of the people there too.
I'm
Question.
available any day but Monday.
Tuesday's good.
And I might be gone next week. I mean,
In
we
fact,
can
I wish
work
the whole
hard.
city would show up for this.
The more the merrier because
May
they
I ask
don't
a
have
question,
to.
Mr. Dodson?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think if we have a problem with what you've presented, let's say like a particular
It's what
paragraph
we
or
have
something like,
presented.
well, I mean, the committee
Okay.
has come up with, if we have a particular problem with a paragraph, let's say, I mean, should we question the committee on that, or do you want us just to discuss it among ourselves, or?
Well,
how-
actually,
What I
You know,
did,
because you may
it's-
have an argument for why you want it that way, and we may not know what your argument
Exactly.
is for having
well,
it that way.
what my thoughts on this were was that I really thought that's why the committee was going to do this, so that we could work this out. And the questions that we had would have been able to be taken care of tonight. So once you go through something like this, everybody's gonna have issues now. So if you continue to work on everybody's issues,
we'll never get it done.
it'll never get done. We've had this discussion before when we had it at a city council meeting, and then there was a special workshop, and then nothing happened. So then we formed a committee to take it out of politics. There was nothing political about this. There was not one side versus the other. This was the community speaking to the city council. And the community spoke with one voice on this. There was no dissent. And now we're getting dissent. And so to come back and ask the committee for their opinion is pretty much a waste of a resource.
What I might,
Because why even ask the committee to do something if you're going to change it anyway?
Because
concur.
you put that forth as a proposal.
Well, I understand,
and-
and you can look at the proposal, but
Right. And I read it as a proposal, and then I want the opportunity to make suggestions and clarification and corrections, and.
And then
the
everybody
mayor-
will.
The mayor said that that would involve a lot of time, and so he wanted to put it as a separate agenda item.
yeah, I
But I do
understand.
have
There's-
questions,
there-
and I want to make it very clear that I think y'all made a big move in getting this thing put together as a proposal.
I agree.
And I told you today, I appreciated that,
Yeah.
and everybody that was on that. I mean, we're not spanking anybody's hand here. We just
No,
want to
and
make sure.
We're not taking it that way,
Right.
but what I'm saying is that there needs to be a cutoff point on when you decide you're going to do something.
Right.
Because you can beat this horse that's already dead until there's nothing left but bones.
Steve, this is what I think we need to do. I think we need to put it on a single agenda item for whenever everybody can be here. And I think that it should be accepted, received as an accepted item, the whole instrument, subject to corrections and clarifications that night. Whenever we set this, I think it needs to be acted upon that night, with one condition, that the corrections and the clarification and
on the final document.
it'll be passed that night. We won't say, oh, hash this out and then run off and come back a month later. I think it needs to be subject to clarification, corrections, additions.
Well, then, I would say if you want to do Thursday, I'll get our group together for Thursday.
I would love to do it
Because I
Thursday.
can't do it next week. I've got obligations. I took off this whole week to try
Thursday
to
would be great
try to
for
work
me.
on this.
Can I interject one thing?
Yes.
If we do this Thursday, can we add in the grant works? Because that should be a very short, simple, approved.
I think this is gonna take quite a while. I really do.
Yeah, let's leave this
One thing at a time.
ordinances.
It takes like, I think it less than 5 minutes to approve or disapprove that, that's what I'm getting at. And the sooner we get it going, the sooner we get the wheels going and paperwork filled out.
It's all right with me. I don't think that'll take that long.
We're just gonna be voting on it, that's what you're asking.
Because it's not really up for discussion. It's
It's gonna be
just,
a yea or nay, and
yeah.
Steve, the way the logistics run, we're gonna have the meeting. We have to
Do
bring
y'all
it,
wanna do it Thursday?
that's fine, but is that gonna conflict with your meeting at the
So
homeowner
good.
association?
We don't have anything that we really have to do, and I'll have someone else take care of it.
What we'll do is bring a good clean copy,
Or something.
and anything that we wanna make a notation change, we'll make those few changes. We'll take that clean copy, every one of us will initial it, each page has got a change on it, so there's no argument later that something wasn't done or something was done without the other knowing. That keeps us all honest up here, and then we'll submit that to you after we vote to approve what we all sign off on. And you can take that marked up copy of wherever few words we change, you can make a final clean copy. You can present it to the city, and the city will give us all copies of it, make copies available for our citizens, and that's a done deal.
Now,
So
is
we
this
will
gonna be an
vote.
open forum, or is this gonna be just,
Well, I think it should be an open forum, and that's why I said I wish everybody in the city would show up.
Absolutely. We don't want to have a lot of filibustering on this, we just want to deal with specifics, we want to talk about generalities.
We want to move ahead.
all right, then I would suggest, anybody who wants a copy of this, get a copy. And even if you make copies for the other people, and have them write down so that there won't be a 4-hour discussion about line 40.16. If they have a problem with 40.16, section 1B, then write down their objection for the change they want. And then you can go through it line by line. Because otherwise you're gonna have a lot of people discussing
Yes.
things.
We're not
and
gonna
it's
let this
gonna
get out
be
of
very
hand.
efficient.
We did exactly that. We did it in less than 2 hours, and we all got together, so.
And we all had the information beforehand. If you wait until everybody gets here, it's not gonna happen.
Okay, so let me get this straight.
We're going to have
I
a
know
meeting
you're doing it, but when are you gonna do it?
Thursday night, 7 o'clock,
Like
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
You want to
Is
say
that in
anything right
stone?
now?
I mean, do we have to have it Thursday night? Can we not do it one day next week?
Steve's going to be out.
Steve, you're going to be available Thursday.
Yes.
Lee, what about you?
I can email Thursday.
Okay, I can.
I am.
Mayor? Okay,
I
can
can
you?
be, but it's just not a good time for me.
Well,
is
I
what
just
I'm
want
saying.
everybody that can be here to have the opportunity is all. I mean, I know.
Go with it.
Is 6 o'clock gonna be within the
No, it's
72
not gonna be
hours?
6 o'clock, it's gonna
Okay,
be,
make it 7
it's gonna be
o'clock.
7
7
o'clock.
o'clock.
7 o'clock on Thursday.
Well, they can start having a discussion, or 3 of us. We can stand out here and listen.
Yeah, but they're ready to post it. Oh, okay.
They posted on the wall tonight, it's
Yeah, you
good.
post it right now, so you can sign it.
I doubt it. So this is gonna take up a lot of time. I mean, y'all could have actually, y'all could have voted to pass the resolution on grant works tonight. All it is a resolution. You're not gonna, well, I tell you what, as soon as we get it, I think the fire chief has to put, he's practicing for a play. Yes, sir.
I can have that resolution to her as soon as I get home.
Okay.
And if you want me to back here Thursday at 7, I'll be glad to be here.
Well,
I mean, that won't take but 50 seconds.
but we got to post it, or we'll have
Yeah, post what?
the 72-hour notice, having that on there, we'll have our normal outcry of government corruption and everything else that we get.
Hey, have the secretary to write it on there. It doesn't say it has to be typed. Write it on there.
And Sheriff Shalina, the right grant works on it. Okay, good. I will do it.
No matter how
I wish we could get it
noble.
going tonight. You can't beat that program.
Yeah, nobility doesn't have the, it's not.
Okay. So, it's being posted as we talk. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, let's move on. So we're gonna meet Thursday night at 7 o'clock for the ordinances. Although this is baby, I'm gonna still be here, but have your thoughts together, read through it, make sure you make an informed decision by reading it and being informed. Don't just come up here because you see this word and you don't think that's the right
And
context.
this is for everybody. This is, there's
Would that-
nothing being shoved down anybody's throat.
Would that
This
said-
is for your input, that you're a citizen and you need to be here. Because it's your input. There's no stamp from this board. It's everybody's opinions that count.
I don't have a clean copy. Mine's scribbled on. Do you happen to have a clean copy you can use to provide citizens if they want one? We'll make copies off the machine in there.
Got it right here.
Yes. Okay.
Another thing, you might want to give me another copy because I think mine was kind of like out of order. I was like,
Yeah, there was a couple pages
Mr.
of
Goss,
same.
yeah, did y'all do that deliberately to me or?
You can go through and find it.
If you'll give that to me, I'll
Okay.
make you some copies.
Okay, so that's a done deal. Let's move on. Lights on the corner of Coffee Lane Road.
Pages are all right.
Something I meant to?
Yeah, right there on the corner, right there by your knee.
Mayor, many years ago, like is in 2 or 3 when I first got here, you could not see the intersection of 3506 going on to or coming off of 155.
Right.
And so Glenn and I had the electric company to put in that light, and it was a certain kind of light, and it lights up that whole corner. And we tried, and then there was always something coming up, but we tried to get the state to pay for that since that's their road. Both of those roads are theirs. And if we do suggest putting this light in and approve it, although it's not in the budget now, Mayor, remember that.
No, he was gonna say that.
But anyway, I would like
I
to see
believe that
if we,
street lights are in the budget, actually.
well, not a new one, not that one,
Maybe
that
we
one
can
is
take
very
the ones out.
expensive.
Keto Park, perhaps.
It's very expensive lights, but anyway, I would like to suggest that when we do put that in, that someone can make a call to the state and see if they fit a bill on that, because that stuff is expensive.
Okay, let me tell you where I'm at with this light right quick,
Both of them.
right? So we'll understand each other, so that there's no doubt. Mrs. Dross asked me to put the light in. Okay, thank you. And let me put it to you like this. The city safety falls under me. That light's going in, period. End of conversation. Now, I've asked Ms. Dross to head this thing up because by putting it up, we've got to get easements from the state and some more stuff. I will give her the points of contact to talk to so we can get that light up. That's a safety thing.
Well, can't the electric company, as they did down here?
The
I'm
electric
sure they
company
acquired-
won't touch it because there's a state marker right out there on the other side of this property.
What do you, this is a state highway right here.
Go ahead, man.
Mayor, I talked to Mr. Harmon at the Tech Stop
Oh,
for the
Tech
state
Stop.
about that light. I asked if the state could put a light up there. He said that intersection does not meet the criteria for the state to do it.
So they won't pay for
We
that.
will need there's really not an easement that needs to be given. We need to get a utility permit from the Texas Highway Department. And it's a matter of, not we, TDEC needs to get the permit. I've talked to Ms. Finley about that. She
Paula?
said Paula Finley, she's happy to go and do that. I don't believe there's any cost for the utility fee. She's gonna send another man out on Wednesday around 1 o'clock this week to look at it again and see exactly what all is involved and come up with a itemized cost that we can present or I can give to you. or
Is that
whatever.
not we wouldn't have to get an easement if it's closest to, if it's up by 155 because of where the old roadbed runs through there? We would have to get an easement from the state if it were that post or holes put in there.
You mean if it wasn't put up by Highway 155?
If it is put up by 155, it's.
Well, that's probably gotta be easement from the same.
See, we're gonna put it up right there at that intersection, just like this, out here, that light that lights up by H&R Block, lights that
I
road.
understand
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We put that in.
There's no
Okay, well,
road there.
why is all this rigmarole over putting one in down there?
It's, the electric company is
You talked to
afraid.
them?
I was over there with them, yeah.
And they said that.
They were afraid that they're honing in on tech stops. Like, it's just a matter, what she's doing, she's
Okay,
straightening
but
that. She's going through the
TechDOT
process.
said that it was not required under their regulations, so then we can put it in, just like we put this one.
Once
Yes,
the
and
paperwork is
that's what he's
done.
saying, all we need
Yeah.
to get is for Trinity.
Because what they're gonna have to do is run another pole. I don't know if you, when the guy shows up, I'll come out there with it. But anyway, bottom
Same light and
line,
everything.
we're gonna put that light in.
Can I
Yes,
make a comment about that?
sure.
The light down there on the corner of 3506 and 155,
Uh-huh,
there was an existing light there,
uh-huh.
but it wasn't strong enough to light up the intersection, and they just replaced the actual light itself.
Well, I tell you what, the one that's down there lights it up.
I know,
And that's the same light we're gonna put down on that
Do
thing.
we have, well, that's a good point, Ray. Do we have an existing pole down there?
No, there's nothing down there.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
I thought there was.
No. You gotta put in the whole
I got
thing.
one down too.
Is that how you like
What
to
about that
break?
old house?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
thank you.
no problem.
That is a dark corner late night.
Well, see, myself, and I'm not trying to take the credit for that, but myself, Mike, Lee, sometime last week we got together and we decided how we could make this city a little bit better. That's why if you notice a lot of these roads are patched now. And a lot of that's thanks to our commissioner back there who don't want to take any credit for it. But going by and checking things and put lights where they need to be. And it's like Ms. Strauss said, she's absolutely right. I got 3 lights burning right now in Kilo Land. Why? We're not even renting anymore. And I'll tell you why. Because of the things Donna witnesses looking out of her window at night. So that might be something we want to do. Take those lights off to pay for this. Because there's a different fee for it. There's all kind of tools we can use, but yeah, we try to look out for everybody. Really. Okay, that's the end of that one. We're gonna put the light up. Period. Okay. Update, interlocal agreement. Like I said, we got commissioner here, and it's kind of go forward. Just what I was talking about a while ago. I don't know how many of you citizens noticed, but there's a whole lot of patchwork being done. It has been done, and it's gonna be done. And the folks in Hassall, I believe we patched almost all of your roads up over there too. And that's a tribute to our commissioner. He did that.
That's right.
And I'm not gonna say what he did it for. I'm not gonna say what it cost us, but I'll tell you like this: that 5,000 users lose it. We used it. But I'm not gonna take credit for that. That's commissioner. He came up with the idea, and
Remember him in November.
That's right.
yeah, I can't say it because I feel good. That might be right. But yeah, he did us a real big favor, and my road's even looking better, even though we haven't talked about the pavement down there yet. And
Lots of better than a big old hole.
it's sure a lot better. You know, you think you have to drive a Hummer down there to get down that street. So I really appreciate everything that he did. You know, and I'm looking down a lot of these roads. Like I said, when I do my drive-bys, and I think we've about got every patch in Hassall. And I know we got it all the way down there. We did the whole city, pretty much. And they did it right there by your house too, correct? Yeah. So you had a bad spot, right?
There's about 4 roads we couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Pine Street,
Okay.
Coffee City Landing,
Okay.
Dixon Street off of 4221, and the extension off of 4217, Mayor's Road.
Yeah. But we appreciate what you did, dude. And I will.
And we did not touch anything in Briarwood Bay.
Yeah, well, Steve got his own agenda over there, so.
Okay.
Not for the city's roads.
Right. Well, see, and that's the thing about it. I believe I was quoted as saying that next time we start, we'll start with Briarwood Bay. And that's why I want to get with you on, you know, as far as the 5,000 interlocal agreement and find out where you're at. But you basically said, go ahead and do what we need to do over here, then you'll kind of take care of your own. So I appreciate that too. Because if I can get just a little bit on Raw Forest Drive, boy, I'll be happy. But I'm
after that, it's not in our hands.
But I mean, normal. What are the monies appropriated, I should say?
The money would be appropriated after the scoring and all that sort of thing, because they don't know.
It's not like this building 2 or 3 years. It's like.
This is inside 2 years. This is inside 2 years. Home is inside 2. You'll be done. It's usually around 18 months total, start to finish. And about 6 or 7 months of that is just like government's digging a hole and waiting.
Yeah, exactly. You know all about that.
You finished?
Yeah.
Okay. If you go build someone a house and they're on well water or they have an older septic system, does it have to pass some type of government regulation or standard before y'all can connect to those, or do they have to pass a certain anything?
We're not involved in that process. That's the city's responsibility, or the city itself, choose the city
Or the
itself.
individual? Or the individual?
We will not deal with sewer and water hookups with the individual homeowner at all. It's whoever provides that service in your city, who our builder will deal with.
We don't have central wastewater treatment.
Okay, I understand. So everybody's on a septic or aerobic or
Yes,
whatever.
Right.
Right,
But that's copacetic with y'all's program.
absolutely.
What about, one quick question, being on the lake with Nature's River, my understanding, you build a new house, you have to put in an aerobic system instead of having the standard septic.
Well,
That's not true.
That's not true? Okay, good.
we deal with Sabine River Authority where I live, and we've done 2 home projects in West Waukene, and we did have a couple of people that still had a septic, and Sabine River didn't like that at all. I can tell you that. They didn't like it at all. But their whole goal is to get rid of septic.
Not you per se,
You
someone
will-
take an application.
Well, no, the next step is that you guys have to pass a resolution saying you're gonna make application to the program, okay? And did you,
That'd be on next
the
month's
resolution, was it in this agenda or not?
We didn't know to do it.
Or not?
No, I'm sorry. It's not.
You do have the resolution, correct?
Did you give that to the fire chief, or?
I emailed it to Chris, right?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, then I'm sure.
Well, if not, I can get you another one before next month. You all meet once a
I'm gonna
month?
send the secretary one
Yes.
of them, so she'll have that.
Okay.
And then we'll know how to word that on the agenda or something.
Well, we have the resolution, and we'll send you a sample, we'll send you an agenda item.
He has that.
Now, once we approve that, and how long does it take the wheels to get into motion for the first approval, for the
Well,
first?
the night that I was supposed to be here was Wolf City. Their application is being hand-carried to TDHCA Thursday.
And
So
then-
that's been about 5 weeks.
Okay, and then after that, what's the time period for the first nail?
We're not really in.
Handicap accessible?
Yes, ma'am, if they're currently, now we don't, I believe the bathrooms are built to ADA anyway. But we don't they don't do ramps or any of that sort of thing unless the person is currently has the registered sticker and all that.
2 questions. 1, how soon can we get this started? And 2, can we start this already involved with another open grant right now?
Yes, sir. The answer to the second question is yes. The answer to the first question is, right now we are going through we're making application for deobligated money. And deobligated money is, say a town said they were gonna build, they got a grant to build 6, they only built 4. That money goes back into a pool. So right now, there's not really we're in an open application period. You can apply anytime. When they run out of deobligated money, then we're gonna go back into the regular funding cycle, which won't start until October.
Okay, so how soon can we have you out here to,
Well, no, we're not.
We
We don't
don't
care if they're dumping stuff in a 55-gallon drum out the backyard.
But Lee, it has to be within the city, and we have that regulated.
I
As
understand.
far as.
do y'all have mandatory sewer connection now?
No.
No.
Okay. All right, but you do have mandatory water service?
Yes.
no?
Well, we do, because the TCQ, this is their zone, yeah. So
Okay.
we have that.
Okay. So what,
It's not through the city, it's
does not
through,
have it.
the city does not have it, but it's,
Right.
it's regulated through Monaco.
Okay. So do you use a water supplier?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. And they're regulated through the
to
TC.
TCQ like everybody else.
Yeah.
So
I just know if, like I said, if they have worn out, you know, like I said, a well or whatever, it has to be a certain standard requirement since it's it's tying into a government-related project. I guess.
no, I can tell you that the few instances that I've run into that were a little strange is that we fall back on whoever your provider